What's going on, everybody? I'm Spencer Tillis.
I'm Trayvon Miles.
And this, of course, is the Delmarva Sports Insider. Coming up in just a bit in today's episode, Haley Milon will join us live at Siegel Stadium, where the SU field hockey team right now is currently taking it to Mary Washington in the CAC title game. We'll have an update on the action.
That's right. And in Laurel today, we had ourselves a slugfest. The Dogs with a late lead over undefeated Woodbridge. Could they hold on? You have to stick around and find out.
And it was the regional title over in Centerville as Queen Anne's was looking to take down the defending state champion Pocomoke Warriors. Highlights of that one in just a bit, but we have got to start things off with a little football.
Yeah.
It was week 10 after all, and I tell you what, all those best matchups on the schedule, they normally come right now. And there was one in particular everybody was looking forward to here in the Bayside. War on the Shore over in Stevensville. We had the undefeated Kent Island Buccaneers squaring off against their rival Queen Anne's, and the Bucks would strike first. The handoff goes to Austin Ryan, goal line, and he just punches it in there from a couple yards out, and just like that, they have the lead. Then before half in the second quarter, ball's on the ground. Jordan Wilmer picks it up, and he's going to go ahead and stiff arm his man and get to the sideline and take it all the way in for the touchdown. Tie ball game at 7s at the break. To the second half we go, and not tied for very long. Jaquel Gardner gets the handoff. He bounces it to the outside, gets some space, and turns on the Jets, makes a man miss, and he is in for a touchdown. Few possessions after that. This time it's C.J. Rogers on the counter. He breaks loose, and he takes off and in for another touchdown right there, showing the afterburners. Queen Anne's was up 10 late with a chance to ice this thing. Jordan Marciano goes deep, and he gets picked off, and Queen Anne's holds on for a 24-14 win. And I tell you what, this was everything I expected to be a defensive battle. I mean, I figured special teams was going to be what had to win this here, or defense, one of them if they could score. And talk about DSI legend Tyler Bonner coming up with a field goal block.
What's up, Tyler?
Huge in the first quarter right there, and then they had that fumble return that really kind of swung the momentum going to halftime. And, hey, Queen Anne's, they're looking like the team to beat now heading into that region for playoffs. They're tough.
The only team left that hasn't lost a game in the Bayside. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, that's not bad at all. A lot of ice probably used after that game.
Yes, definitely, as usual with those two teams. All right, the Henlopen North also loaded with some good teams. Two good ones got on it last night. Cape Henlopen hosting state champ Smyrna. Winner gets to call themselves a winner of the North and get that D1 automatic qualifier. So the Vikings, they would strike first in this game. Surprisingly, Dylan Adams back to pass, finding the big man, Zach Gale, 20 yards out, just like that. The home team out in front. But those Eagles are pesky, and they are good at offense. Nolan Henderson, zone reading that thing like a book. 8 yards out, and he is in for a touchdown. They are pumped in this one.
Okay.
Kobe Wright, back and forth we go. Kobe Wright in from 4 yards out. And next thing you know,
upset.
You're thinking it's an upset. But Smyrna's got this other kid. His name is Letty Brown. They got another kid named Will Knight. Letty Brown, one of 3 touchdowns on the night, a 48-0 run for Smyrna.
They win a lot of games.
Unheard of as they win 56-16. This game is a lot like a lot of other Smyrna games here lately. Start out a pretty good game. You're thinking maybe the other team can upset them a little bit. But a team like Smyrna, all you have to do is miss one possession. Cape punted the ball on one possession. Next thing you know, a 48-0 run. That's what the Eagles do.
Yep.
You cannot waste possessions with that team. They go back and forth on you, and they force you, when you do get down, they force you to take away your running game and automatically start passing. If that's not your game, they're going to jump on top of you, and that's why you see runs like that. I'll tell you what, they better get their defense a little bit better because coming in the playoffs, Middletown is pretty good, so we'll leave it at that.
Yeah, once that offense gets rolling, though, I mean, they can play with anybody.
They literally
in the state.
can score 80 points every time they go out there.
Pretty much.
Yes.
Well, we had a couple other really big football games, including the Henlopen South. This one was over in Milford as the Bucks were trying to get back into this thing, taking on Delmar. I picked the Wildcats, and they weren't helping me very much early on as the handoff goes to Brooks Parker on 4th down. But that Milford's D swarming, coming up with a big-time stop right there, and we're headed the other way. But only for one play before this would happen. William Kimball fumbles the exchange. Isaac Austin is there to fall on it for the Cats, and we are headed the other way. But again, defense was the theme in this thing. Delmar going for it on 4th and goal, but Jimmy Atkins' pass gets tipped and falls incomplete. And then Milford would go ahead and put this thing on ice. Kimball calls his own number from 2 yards out, in for the touchdown. Bucks get the win. 35-18 the final.
Laurel hosting Woodbridge earlier today. Early on, Dogs thinking upset. Ramier DeShields gets into the end zone from 3 yards out. They take a 7-0 lead into halftime. Their defense had their way with Woodbridge all game long, still up 7-0. Troy Haynes picked off by senior Deion Parker. Down at the 1, 5 minutes to go. That pick might have hurt Laurel, though. Check this out. A couple plays later, Woodbridge defense finally gets going. That's a safety. Makes it 7-2 with just 4 minutes left. After the free kick, Woodbridge offense finds their groove. Haynes with a dime right there to Michael Brewer, 36-yard touchdown. They get their first lead with 2:30 left in this game. Last chance for Laurel. Perez Nichols going to be sacked by who else? Shymere Vessels. Woodbridge scores 10 points in a final 4:30. They stay undefeated to win this game by a final of 10-7.
And Bennett was taking on crosstown rival Y-High, but the Tribe came out ready to go. The Indians get on the board first here in the second quarter. The pitch goes to Raekwon McCarter. He fumbles at the goal line, but Dominique Bailey with the heads-up play gets the touchdown. Back come the Clippers. Joey Blake back to pass, finds Matt Chrysostom right there. A tough last name and a tough catch right there, making it happen. A couple drives later, Blake rolls out again, flings that thing over, and that'll be good for another short touchdown right there as all of a sudden Bennett has a 2-score lead. Indians running out of time, but not out of it just yet. Jason Patterson keeps on the option. He's in for the score. And then, well, the Indians still needed a touchdown late. Last chance, 6 seconds left. Laquan Pritt back to pass, throws to the end zone, and just like this, we're going to have a touchdown, a 2-point conversion, ties it. And that happens, drops it, and the Clippers get the win, 20-12 the final.
We finding new ways to lose over there every week. Battle of the Bridge, Cambridge hosting Easton. Early on, Baby Nixon, Tajir Nixon getting the pass from Mason Ledford. He breaks the plane, 19 yards. He is in for the touchdown later. Check this speed out. Speed don't lie. Taj Moloch showing off the wheels. Catches the screen, 71 yards later. He is down the sideline and into the end zone. But the Warriors, they would come back strong. Mason Ledford dropping back. Moss, that's what you call that one. Matthew Farrow in the end zone for a score. And last chance to put it on ice for Easton. Zach Strand, look at Cambridge right now. They do not want to tackle this big guy. 35 yards out. Easton gets the bragging rights this year. They win this one by a final of 42-21.
On over to Federalsburg. Colonel Richardson at home squaring off against rival North Carolina. Bulldogs marching early on. The handoff goes to White Gross. He finds a seam in 40 yards later. That's a nice pickup there into CR territory. Bulldogs looking for it all. Cody Pepper back to pass, but Darian Speller, great adjustment there, makes the interception and brings it back to a good distance right there to set the offense. However, they'd be forced to punt. North Carolina's running game eventually got going. Tay Potts, handoff off the right side, in for the touchdown. Bulldogs take it 45-20 the final.
Parkside hosting Washington on Thursday. Second play from scrimmage, 1-2. Tariq Bivens bouncing it to the outside, gets the sideline. 60 yards later, he gone, Spencer. Very next offensive play for Parkside looked just like this. Andrew Smith back to pass. He's going to find my man Dustin Richardson down the sideline. Another touchdown for Parkside. They're looking good in this one. Back comes Washington. Eric Ballard throwing the ball. Jump ball right here to the big man, Tyler Paul. Oh, my goodness. Yeah. That's my first time seeing that highlight. Tyler Polson, the only high school kid I'm scared of. He gets into the end zone. Parkside just kept coming from there, though. Counter goes to Bivens. He takes it in for another touchdown. Rams marching all on this one, 55-20 the final.
On over in Dagsboro, Indian River at home against Lake Forest, and that Indians defense making plays early on. The pitch is on the ground, and Gerald Foreman is there, and we are headed the other way, but the offense eventually got going for Lake. Deshaun Bizzle, greatest last name in the Henlopen, maybe all around, throws it up top. And Cam Lewis goes up and gets it for the score. Shortly after that, this time the Spartans going to do it on the ground as the handoff goes to Chiron Salati. He is in for the touchdown as well. They went on to get the win 26-7 the final.
And Sussex Tech made the long trip up to Wilmington to take on Sally's on Thursday. Sal's already up 10, looking for a little bit more. Reverse goes to Michael DiNardo. He's in from 10 yards out, and he was pumped up in this one. 17-0. Couple possessions later, looking for a little bit more. Zach Gwynn dropping back the pass, finds Joseph Wesselman 11 yards out, 24-0. Ravens just looking to get on the board in this one, and they would right here. Tyzier Morris dropping one in the back of the end zone to Noah Jones, 5 yards out. They finally get on the board early in the fourth quarter, but this was Salesianum all the way. Alex Hinton going to put the last nail in the coffin. Sussex Tech drops one. They're Eventually, they're put out of the playoffs now with that loss, 45-8 the final.
As for other games, Kent County falls to Falston, 35-27. Decatur, first win of the year, 43-7. And DSI legend Zebo led Seaford to a big win, 52-20. Central over Dover, 43-7. And CR getting that first win of the season 9 weeks late, 26-13 over Polytech.
Yeah, man, it's about time for them, right?
They needed it,
A lot
right?
of expectation for that team this year. Just didn't live up to
Stuttered.
it.
You're right. You're right. Well, a chance to kind of maybe end the year on a good note for them. All right. Well, it's time for our first commercial break. But coming up next, we're going to talk some power poles. Keep it right here.
My name's Emily McAllister, and I run cross country for Snow Hill, and you're watching Delmarva Sports Insider.